What's up, everybody? I'm David Hain. Welcome to episode 252 of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, subscribe, follow, and share the link with your friends. If you'd like to get our curriculum, you can get the paperback or ebook of From Ashes to Destiny on Amazon. Today's episode, number 252, is entitled Someone I Could Trust. And it's the first of two Wacky Wednesday for today. As we're going through the chapters of From the Ashes to Destiny curriculum, we're in phase 2, which deals with heart wounds. And this is the first story from chapter 10 of phase 2, entitled The Heart Caught in Futility. Here's the story of Neil. As a young child, I was raped by my uncle. I was so young I didn't even know what was really happening. But as this grew into a regular routine of incest, I wondered why my parents weren't protecting me. As I reached my years of adolescence, I began to question my role in what had happened. Was I gay? Had that opened the door or invited my uncle into his actions? I remember feeling so dirty all the time. Slowly, these feelings became something horrible in my mind. I had to escape from them. I turned to alcohol before I turned 13. When I drank, I had false courage, a false pride, and I felt I belonged. So I continued to drink more and more as more people accepted me when I was drunk. But I still had the lingering doubt about my manhood. So I turned to sex. If I had sex with lots of girls, I could prove my manhood and convince myself that I was not gay. It was easy to have sex with girls if I was drunk and they were drinking too. The escape seemed perfect. I felt like a man. I was accepted and I was loved. Now here I sit in Lancaster County Prison at age 50. And I realize I don't know what it means to love. I can't relate to a loving father, so how do I trust God as my loving father? I never had a relationship with someone I could trust. How can I learn to trust God and surrender everything to Him? I've tried so many things that counselors, psychologists, and psychiatrists have recommended over the years. I've tried psych meds, behavior modification, cognitive therapy, and being treated for dissociative disorder. But nothing has worked. Everything ends in futility and frustration. And I still go to sleep every night with worry and fear, as I'm riddled with memories that never leave me alone. Shaw. A deep story there from Neil. And you can really see how something from his childhood stuck with him right up to prison at age 50. So let's go some discussion questions on this story. Number 1, Neil was raped by his uncle and it became a routine of incest. And he had questions that I want to ask you. His questions were, why didn't my parents protect me? Do you have memories of feeling unprotected by parents, loved ones, or other people who were looking after you? Number 2, did you begin to question your role in opening the door to childhood pain? As Neil began to question, maybe he was gay and maybe that's why his uncle came through that door to molest him. But it left him feeling dirty. Did you ever feel dirty as a child? Did you feel horrible? What questions did you have in your childhood that you just couldn't ask anybody? Number 3, Neil began to question if he was gay. He began to question his manhood. What lingering doubts about who you really were have haunted your memories? Are they still haunting you as you try to find out who you really are? Number 4, Neil found his escape in alcohol starting at age 13. What did you do as an escape in your childhood or youth? And did you grow beyond that first escape to something harder or something worse? Neil turned to sex to prove his manhood. And he found that this mixed well with his alcohol, and it also made him feel like a man. So when I ask you, what did you do to feel like a man? Number 6, Neil couldn't trust his parents. And because of what had happened to him in his childhood, he didn't know what real love was. What relationship did you find with someone you could trust? Or are you still searching to find someone that you can trust? Number 7, Neil tried everything to find help, but nothing worked. He was to psychologists, psychiatrists, other doctors, counselors, tried psych meds, behavior modification, cognitive therapy, dissociative disorder he was treated for, on and on and on, but nothing worked. He just said all of it just led to more futility and nothing worked. So when I ask you, are you still searching for the thing that works, that helps unwrap the riddle of the memory of your childhood, that brings healing and truth and understanding into the pain of your childhood? Or have you found something that works? And what has worked for you? I'm sure as you share in a group, that will help so many other people. Number 8, Neil said, everything ends in futility and frustration. How do you relate to that? How can you overcome futility by finding people that you can trust? Thank you for listening for this episode of the A2D from Addict to Disciple podcast. If you were saying that's me to anything that was shared, I want to encourage you now to reach out. Talk to someone, talk to a friend, talk to someone you can trust. Reach out and join a group. It's a good way to find more people to trust and a place to be honest with things that you never had answers for. You can message me on the link in this podcast or by email at davidfroma2d@gmail.com, or go to my website, www.froma2d.org, and click on the contact page. If you're listening on Spotify, you can leave your comments by clicking on the link they provide on that platform. Keep listening to future podcasts, and as always, stay safe and stay resilient.